Wisconsin. How the hell are we doing? NFL admin, we lactated Don. We lactated Don. Mother love us.
That is me. Wildflower.
Good, what have you done?
The Fan of the Year trophy just shattered.
They got Bullard! I broke something, I don't care! They got Bullard! Yes!
No!
They snap it at 6 seconds!
No!
What are
Game
you
over!
doing?
Game over!
It is over!
Let's make some noise.
Oh my god, he caught that ball. Jaden Reed! What a catch! Romeo Dobbs! It's no good! It's no good! It got blocked! And it's gonna be, oh my god! It bounces off the Bears! A miracle in DC!
$1 million for children of fallen patriots.
Over $2 million for charity.
Did it, man.
Yeah, we did.
It's frickin' frackin' time.
We done do that.
Oh no, I don't have the right pen down here. Oh no.
Oh no. Flash. Grossi Posse Packer Nation, welcome to an episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't, I do Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. I just wanted to get scripted done today. Grossi. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Trade deadline was crazy. Remember when we were talking about this trade deadline and it was like, no, I think, it's going to be a little bit of a quieter one this year, just a little bit. And then the Jets go, never mind, let's trade everybody. So yeah, a very, very hectic trade deadline day in the NFL. The trade deadline has officially passed us, by the way. We're 23 minutes past it. It ended at 4 p.m. on the East Coast. Robert Tour, thank goodness my Jets kept that stud Lazard. Robert, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Chris with a fire. Tom, good afternoon, man. You think the Packers pick up a tight end or a CB in the trade deadline? Trade deadline's over. So in case you wanted it to say, man, can my team do anything? It's all done. No more trades. They are done for the 2025-2026 NFL season. Ended about 23 minutes ago. So there will no longer be. The Packers did pick up a tight end. I think his last name was like McGraves or something like that they grabbed. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I saw it a little bit earlier. Let's see. Yeah, they signed two guys. They got Michael Woods II, who's a wide receiver, and McCallan Castles. So they got both of those guys. So McCastles is from the 2024 draft class. So I think they're just going to rock with Luke Musgrave. I would have liked to see some CB depth, but yeah. Ford, appreciate you. Kevin, I'm a happy Vikings fan. Let's go. You'll defy the Steelers love to role play as a team that is going to trade for a wide receiver. Yeah, they already did it in the offseason, so they're like, we're not going to do it anymore. Admin Fire, kind of disappointed the Bears didn't get anything substantial. I'm looking at some of those prices for talent. I'm not too upset. Yeah, so obviously the big trades today are coming from the Jets. You do have Shaheed, who goes to the Seahawks, so I do want to talk about because I think that is going to be a lot of fun. But Sauce Gardner, in case you missed it, Sauce Gardner getting traded to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks. The Colts also send over wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. And then the Jets were not done. They sent over defensive tackle Queenan Williams to the Cowboys for a first-round pick and also Mazzie Smith, and I think it was a second-round pick as well. And it's whichever is the highest draft pick in the first, whether that's going to be the Packers or the Cowboys. Richard Turner, happy for my Colts, but 2 first rounds? Yeah, it's a steep price, man. And the thing is, too, the Jets just paid him in this offseason and gave him a big-time contract. So, yeah, we'll kind of talk about a bunch of things because there's a lot. There's a lot. Life and Fire, wish Seattle picked up a guard at the deadline. Can't complain about getting Shaheed. More deep threats won't hurt. No, definitely not. I think they're gonna be just fine with that. Caleb with a tour. Legion of Zoo in Seattle now, Tom. Shaheed, he's got the speed. Big, appreciate you. Bronco to Fire. No Broncos trade. Shaking my head. At least I can look forward to your amazing If the NFL was scripted skit. And hey, man, I appreciate that audio. Appreciate that out of you. Yeah, it'll come out tomorrow. It will be out tomorrow. All right, so let's talk about a couple of things here. All right, so first off, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts, who things went a little bit crazy. The trade deadline's over, Weston. It's all done. So, all done. All right, so let's talk about the first one for the Colts. So Sauce Gardner, yeah, exactly, poor Breece Hall. Sauce Gardner got traded to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks, so their 2026 and their 2027 first-round pick, and also A.D. Mitchell. So when this first of all, I was shocked. Not that the Jets are trading away anybody. I'm more shocked now that they didn't get rid of Breece Hall. But I'm shocked that they were deciding to move on Sauce Gardner right now, considering, like I said, they just gave him a big-time contract. Let's see. It was a Sauce Gardner contract. Like with they tour, the Jets yes, Jets fan is heavily conflicted. Picks are nice. Yeah, the picks are nice, and that's the thing, right? You just need to figure out, like, hey, are we gonna draft well? That's gonna be the next part of this. So if you could draft well, and then you're rocking and rolling. So yeah, they signed him to a 4-year extension with new money average of $30.1 million per year. He was the highest paid player at his position. But then the deal carried only $13.75 million signing bonus and a salary of $1.25 million in 2025. So they paid him about $14.3 million. And now you're going to have the Colts who are going to pick up the rest of that, and they're going to be paying $25.5 million for Sauce in 2026. And so the Colts, not only do they have to give up a good amount of draft capital in a first and second round, two first rounders, but on top of that, they're going to have to pay for this new contract as well. So if you are a Jets fan, this, I think it's like you said, it's a conflicting day. Sauce Gardner definitely is a very good player. I think in terms of his stats, and you look at his play, I don't want to say he's peaked because I think he could do really well with Indianapolis, but I think they're just selling high at this point. The fact that they were able to get 2 first-round picks for him, I think is pretty darn great. Now, the problem with the Jets, and I think is going to come back and bite them a little bit, is it's assumed, unless the Colts have like this dramatic, just complete collapse in this midseason, that those draft picks are going to be pretty darn high. And so I think that's going to be a little bit of a problem because if they're picking, in the 20s, right, or hell, even if they go a little bit further, and they wind up being one of the final teams that's left in contention, that's really not going to, I think, move the needle. The thing is that the Jets are going to have a very good draft pick because of their own selection, because they are not a great football team this year. But then, of course, also trading Quentin Williams, I think that's going to make a big difference as well. So right now for the Jets, I get it for Sauce Gardner because, again, you're getting a ton of draft capital. On top of that, they're going to get they got multiple first-round picks next year as well. And so I think it sets them up nicely. Again, you just have to have faith in that front office that they're actually going to utilize those picks well and draft. Butts with a tenor. Wasn't high enough on my Seahawks. We go and get Shaheed. Seahawks to the moon. Also, holy crap, the Jets just had a fire sale, and the Cowboys and Colts are the beneficiaries of it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, because they were not done after that. So after the Jets traded away Sauce Gardner, and I want to talk about the Jets, then we'll talk about the Colts, and we'll talk about the Cowboys. They also traded their star defensive tackle in Quentin Williams, and so what they got is Mozzie Smith. And if you talk to any Cowboys fan, they are not going to be too happy, or they're not going to be too broken up that Mozzie Smith is no longer on their team. They get a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick. So here they get another first-round pick. This one's not going to click until 2027, though. And then, of course, they're going to get that early second-round pick from the Cowboys heading into this upcoming draft. And so for the Jets, this one hurts. Quentin Williams is an awesome player. I also really like him. I know that was I always hoped that he would find his way on the Green Bay Packers, especially when they were trying to find either a replacement or somebody to go next to Kenny Clark all these years. But I do think that this one's going to hurt the most for Jets fans. Sauce goes, and you're like, okay, yeah, that really sucks. 2 first-round picks. That makes things a little bit easier. Here, while you do get that draft capital, I feel like, yeah, that defense, which wasn't ideal for the Jets, it wasn't like it was the past couple seasons, or a couple seasons ago, I should say. But overall, I think that they're getting some really nice hauls for draft capital. they're gonna miss Williams in the middle there. And now the problem also for the Jets, and I mentioned this in the reaction video, is now with all these draft picks, because if you take a look at this here, Liger, it's here. Williams looking for a trade. He was done with the Jets. So there's another guy who's freaking done with them too, and that's Breece Hall, but he did not get to escape. So he's going to be stuck there for a hot second. All right, so let's see what we got. Jam, as a Jets fan, I'm happy we're resetting. Yeah, and again, like, this could age very well for the Jets, but now they have to draft well, and that's the hardest part, right? And what I was just about to say is they're in a position where they are going to probably be looking for a quarterback, because I don't think Justin Fields is going to be your answer. I don't think they're going to rock another year with him, even though it was a 2-year deal that they signed him to. But now they're going to have to figure out, like, okay, we going and getting ourselves a quarterback. They're going to need that. They're going to go and need some defensive players after this. Chris Couture, Jets should build in the trenches, stop drafting QB. The problem is like, all right, they need to build in the trenches, which they need to on both sides of the ball, but they do need a quarterback at some point, and if they're in line to go get him. All right, so let's see here. Draft picks now. Okay. I want to see. All right, here it is. Caleb with a 5. Tom, the Cowboys need to sell defensive player jerseys because everybody else is doo-doo caca. We'll see if Overshown comes back every time soon. All right, so in 2026, this is where they're at. The Jets have their first-round pick, and they also have Indianapolis's first-round pick. So one of those is going to be pretty darn low. I think that's going to be the Jets. And one of those I think is going to be decently high, and that's going to be the Colts. They also have 2 second-round picks in 2026. They have their own, and they have Dallas's. And unless Dallas has this miraculous turnaround, I think that should be a pretty decent pick for them as well. Jeremy with a 5 was rereading old Tom Clancy books. He makes jokes about the Jets all the way back. Not much has changed. Why guy with a 2? I wish the Jets could trade for a new owner. Undead with 5. Mr. Grossi, how you doing, sir? We're doing all right. It's a little bit of craziness in the NFL for the trade deadline, so I can't get scripted done today, but we're rocking. Chris Couture, Hearts with Isaiah Davis, fantasy owners. And then, so that's 2026. 2027, they have 3 first-round picks. They have their own, they have Dallas's, and they're going to have Indianapolis as well. So they're going to be set up pretty nicely for 2027. So when talking about building in the trenches, they could potentially, in 2026, decide to go all in on there and just build a supporting cast. Whether they keep Justin Fields or not, you know, we'll see what happens. But able to go and build a supporting cast and then drafting potentially a franchise quarterback, because I can't imagine the Jets are going to be, like, really darn good. I think that sets them up nicely. Again, now they have to do the hard part, and they actually have to draft well, so we'll see. We'll see what we got. We've already built the trenches. We need a QB. You need a QB, but I feel like you now have to go and look at the trenches again, especially on defense now. Rice, thank you for the 5. So, yeah, they might trade away some picks. They have the ammunition to do so. So, all right. So then let's talk about the couple other teams here who were the recipients of those trades. Adam, it's your worst owners, Bengals or Jets? I mean, the Jets are up there. The Jets are pretty darn high up there. Let's talk about the Cowboys. The Cowboys getting Quinnen Williams, I think that is going to be a remarkable addition to their defensive line. Like, Williams is a really darn good player. So I like this move for Dallas. They also had a good amount of first-round picks because of the Micah Parsons trade. And so I think that this is a good pickup for the Cowboys. It might be too little too late for this season, but if they get Overshown back, if Ezeraku continues to develop, I think that this is a good move overall for the Cowboys. And Williams is what? How old is he now? Let's see. Is he in his late 20s? He is 27, so he'll be 28 in December. So he's going to be on that roster for a hot minute. Chris Couture, imagine Williams and Parsons. Dude, 27? Yeah, no, I mean, they would be crazy. And again, if Overshown comes back and he's back to where he was, then they're going to be pretty darn good. So I like this move for the Cowboys. Again, I don't know how well this is going to help them this season because their defense is pretty atrocious. You saw it last night as well. But I think overall it is a good pickup here. Rise with Fire. Thinks about the Seahawks trading for Rashid. Oh, yeah, Shaheed? Yeah, so I think for Shaheed, we'll skip the Colts right this second. I like this for the Seahawks. So they gave up a 4, so a 2026 4th-round pick and a 2026 5th-round pick for Shaheed. And considering they went and got Cooper Kupp, I did mention before they got Cooper Kupp, I wasn't, like, over the moon. It really didn't do a whole lot for me. just because I saw how he played with the Rams the last season. It was like he was okay. I didn't think it was like that blockbuster trade. But here, JSN is obviously their number one target. You saw how good that wide receiver core could be this past Sunday when they absolutely whooped the Commanders. But Shaheed is going to be your deep threat. And I think just spreading out opposing defenses even more, and whether they're already going to be doubling JSN, but now they have to worry about Shaheed over the top. Yeah, I feel like that's a good pickup. And to give up a 4th and a 5th rounder, I feel like this is a decent haul for the Saints. We were talking about if the Saints were going to do anything crazy too during the trade deadline. I know they wind up trading Penning as well, but we'll talk about that for the Chargers. But yeah, I like this move a whole lot. They're going to keep Chris Olave. He's going to be the wide receiver that you're going to kind of build the entire offense around now. And they do need an injection of talent. And, 4th and 5th round pick, I don't think are going to hurt. Carmen Fire. Sorry if I know you, Mr. Tom. Did you get my package? Carmen, it depends. I opened everything during Friday Night Q&A and shout out everybody. If your name was on it, I shouted it out. But what did you send? Lucino with to our Bills fans doing like crazy, no moves thoughts. I mean, I think you would have liked to see some pieces maybe added either to the defense or get another wide receiver. But the way that the defense has looked the past 2 games, I'm not panicking about the Bills. It's the best that their defense has looked all season. So, you know what I mean? Alexander, despite not having much capital to negotiate with, can't help but be disappointed the Chiefs not addressing the D-line and running back room. Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought that Breece Hall could potentially be going to Kansas City, considering that he apparently was available, but they did not move him. And I think they were looking for like a 3rd round pick. So I'm a little surprised that they didn't pull the trigger on that. Xavier to fire. Thoughts on the Eagles moves for Jalen Phillips, Jair, and Michael Carter? Michael Carter's whatever. Jair Alexander has been a healthy scratch 4 times already this year. Don't know how effective he's going to be. I do like the Jalen Phillips trade, though. I think that's going to make their defense even better. Captain, still waiting to see my Brownies do anything. Highly doubt. Thanks for the membership. Well, Captain, it's already done. So if there's been no announcement about your team thus far, it's not happening because the trade deadline ended 38 minutes ago. So, Lucifer Birthday 7. If the Colts offense can bounce back on track, they can be one of the most balanced teams thanks to this trade. No, I agree. I mean, Sauce is going to upgrade that secondary significantly. And he's going to be, at bare minimum, he's going to be a very good player back there. It's exactly what you said, though. It's a lot of capital to give up, and now you're going to be spending a lot of money, too. I mean, that's one of the benefits of not having to spend a whole lot of money on a franchise quarterback. So that's a positive. But there is a huge investment in this team right now, right? And the Colts, they just lost their 2nd game on Sunday. They've been doing pretty darn well. 6 turnovers on Sunday is obviously not great, but it's exactly what you said. If that offense can get back to where they were, if Jonathan Taylor can kind of pick up right where he left off, or he has been already this season, you're rocking. Bobby, Paul, we didn't make any moves. We tanking. Yeah, I feel like I don't know what you're doing unless you're going to get an offensive lineman, but I think you're just going to have to go and probably address that in the draft, I imagine. Yankees with a tenor. Cowboys have a top 5 bad owner. Defense got significantly upgraded today. Secondary still a bit concerning. Hoping the rookie Revel is a stud. Everyone said he would be during the draft. Yeah, again, well, the nice thing is if you actually have a little bit of a pass rush and also have like a better D-line, your secondary is going to look better, which it needs to. Caleb Fire. Perna would say Broncos trade for more 4th quarter magic from Roger Goodell. Anton, I was more heartbroken about Quinnen than Sauce. I'll miss both, though. I hope we can re-sign Breece and salvage that relationship. Will we trade Quincy? I mean, there's no trading that's going on for the rest of the season now. But, yeah, Breece is going to be interesting because I saw that Breece also wanted to get out. That's one of the things I was seeing today. So he seemed to not be super duper happy that, all his friends got traded away. But Daniel Jones on a 1-year, $14 million contract. So they're kind of like in this win now mode. And we'll see. We obviously have to see how the second half of the season goes. But, we'll see if they wind up re-signing him there. But yeah, Williams, I imagine you're going to be a little bit more upset about. Carver, they fire from Carlos. It said it was delivered today. No worries. Then no, I haven't gotten it yet. If it got delivered today, it's in my P.O. box, and I will get it on Friday before Q&A. Kevin, surprised the Packers didn't make any moves for CB or tight end depth. I came in a little late, so not sure if you talked about it already. Yeah, they signed Castles. So he's from the 2024 draft class. So I think that's going to be your backup tight end because obviously they already have Luke Musgrave, who I think is going to get tight end 1 reps. Then you're going to have Fitzpatrick, and then you're going to have Castles there. I would have liked them to get some CB depth, but it just seems like that they weren't going to make that trade, or just the value wasn't going to be there. I heard Asante Samuel Jr. can now play, though. I think he was cleared to play, so we'll see if they wind up making a move on him. So yeah, for the Colts, it's a very, very risky move, I would say. And it seems like they're going all in on this team. They just got to finish strong, man. And it seemed like the problem with their team on Sunday was more on their offense because of the 6 turnovers. But they've been a really damn good team so far. So we shall see, man. Asante would be interesting. I mean, again, he's not really a great tackler, but Steph Flores said this morning that Duke Tobin could be fired this week. Does this mean we actually get a GM now? At least Trey is still here. Yeah, maybe, Steph. Yeah, Trey, I know that the last thing I saw, and these were just rumors, so, don't take this as gospel, but apparently the Bengals, what I heard, they wanted a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson, and I just don't think that they were going to get that for potentially a 1-year rental. Now, they could have signed him to a new contract, but yeah, I don't know, man. The Bengals are in a spot. They're in a spot right now. Also, talking about another wide receiver besides Shaheed getting moved, the Jaguars got Jacoby Myers. I actually really like this for the Jaguars. So the Jaguars traded a 2026 4th and 6th round pick to the Raiders. Jacoby Myers, it was reported that he has not been happy in Las Vegas. So I feel like this makes sense for both teams. The Raiders' offense is already not very good, but for the Jaguars, I think this is a really nice pickup. You have Hunter, who right now is banged up, and on top of that, Brian Thomas Jr. has had his struggles this season. Jacoby Myers, at times, has been like the one consistent besides Brock Bowers for this Raiders offense. So I think that's a really good pickup there. J. Bob with a fire. If every trade made by the buyers of the league worked out, what do you think has the best chance of winning the Super Bowl? I mean, it's probably Colts Seahawks, right? Out of those two teams, I think they got significantly better. So I mean, the Eagles have to be up there too with Jalen Phillips. I think that one too. The Eagles were already a really, really good team. So I'd say that those three, but probably the Eagles number one. We'll do it too. What's your opinion on Trevor Penning coming to LA? Yeah, so the Saints have been drafting offensive linemen for the past few years in the first round, and it hasn't completely and totally worked out. He's been okay. Because when was he from? 2022. So he was the 2022 first round pick. I think this makes sense for the Chargers a lot, because especially with Joe Alt out and now he's going to need surgery again, and that could end his season. They need something. And if they want to remain competitive, and Penning's still young too, he's 26. He'll be 27 in May. So if he's able to, at least provide something along that offensive line, I mean, you're kind of just biding your time until next season when you're going to have Slater and Alt return. But yeah, it's they needed something in the offensive line, so it makes sense why they go for him. Whiskey to Fire. I mean, after Sunday, we do nothing so far. Not looking for a big move. We clearly are very deep in some areas. O-line has been atrocious. Yeah, no, but the trade deadline has already passed. So, no, if your team has not made a trade, it's all done. It ended 44 minutes ago. Jay Ratcher, who needs trades? Was 25 more years. What's exactly, Jay. Super easy. Super duper easy. So yeah, so Trevor Penning went also for a 2027 6th round pick. So it's not even for next year's draft. So that just goes to show you how well Trevor Penning has been playing. So they could, Mitch. They could. Chris Whitter feels like the Bears could have been buyers. Yeah, I feel like they were big spenders in free agency, so I'm not super surprised that they didn't make a move here. So yeah, we'll kind of see how things go, but I think that they're just going to rock with what they got this season. Ramsey to Fire. Got a trade for you. How about your pot of greed card for $50? Well, I don't know. I could draw a few cards with that. I don't know. 49ers not trading anyone. There's no surprise there. I mean, do they have anybody healthy to trade at this point? And I'm not even trying to be facetious. I honestly think that is a legit question. So yeah, just to recap here, you got the Chargers. They traded for Trevor Penning, a 6th round pick in 2027 for the Saints. The Cowboys, that got Quentin Williams for a 2nd round pick this year, Mozzie Smith, and a 2027 1st round pick for the Jets. The Bears, they also picked up a defensive end, if I'm not mistaken, and they gave up, I think it was a 6th round pick next year to the Browns. Shaheed winds up going to Seattle from the Saints. They got a 4th and a 5th round pick. I really like that for Seattle. The Colts, they get Sauce Gardner in exchange for 2 first round picks and also A.D. Mitchell. Chris Tour Scooter on clickbait is going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, after losing to the Cardinals, they need to do something here. Jaguars, they get Jacoby Myers from the Raiders. Logan Wilson from the Bengals goes to the Cowboys as well. Yeah, I did not expect Sauce to be traded, especially after, the big contract that he got. So, not terribly sorry. We did sign 2 players. Yes, the Packers wind up citing a tight end. So, hopefully, I don't know how much he's going to actually do there. But you say the Jets fleeced the Colts? I think it's a little rich. But at the same time, Sauce is a good player. I feel like if the Colts do well, I got to be honest with you, even if they wind up with the 25th draft pick, I feel like it's going to age well unless they have an insane collapse. I feel like they're going to get a pretty late draft pick. So I feel like it works out for Indianapolis. You're just going to be paying a whole bunch of money. And again, that's draft capital. This is the worst case scenario for Indianapolis, right? If this does not work out, let's just say Daniel Jones for the rest of the season just sucks all the ass, is just terrible. Then this is going to age very poorly because then the Jets are going to get a better draft pick for the next 2 years, and they're going to have to get a quarterback. That QB carousel is going to have to keep going. But then that's only if Daniel Jones completely and totally collapses. I think they got some faith in him, right? That's the only way that I think this is going to be a problem. Bro, they fire Colts, Seahawks, Super Bowl, then Packers next year, and Super Bowl on Valentine's Day because of love. Because of love. But yeah, that's the only one. No, Brees Hall's not going to the Vikings. The trade deadline is passed. It is done. It passed 47 minutes ago. So 4 p.m. on the East Coast. That was the last time. Yeah, everyone's been talking about Asante Samuel Jr., so we'll see if he actually winds up playing. So, yeah, if he sucks off, if he's just god-awful, man. Patriots not making any moves. Why do the Patriots make any moves? They were big spenders in free agency. They went out and drafted the guys that they wanted. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think you're still in a rebuild, and the fact that you could still win your division, I don't think you go and get anybody right now. You just address it in the draft and free agency. J-Train, they fire 49ers, 2 rushers, have 18 sacks in combined 8 years. Trey has 17 and a half in 1. Should have given up a first-round pick for him. I don't know, J-Train. Listen, it would have been fun. I think you do that, J-Train, if you have Bosa and Warner still healthy and playing, because then you go and get Trey Hendrickson, you get him for the year, and then you see if you re-sign him or not. Whoever you could, because let me put it this way, J-Train. Let's just say the Bengals were asking for a first-round pick. The 49ers can literally wait this out, then get Bosa and Warner back next year, and then they could go and they don't have to give up any draft capital, and they could just sign Trey Hendrickson for a big-time contract next year if they have the cap space. So this way, you're getting him on a 1-year rental, and yes, you can sign him to a big-time contract, but the fact that they did not trade him at all, that just means that he's going to be available next season, and now you don't have to give up anything. You just got to pay him money. Kevin, if I think Jacoby Myers gets a long-term contract with the Jags or he is a rental. Let me see what his contract is. Let's see. It was a 3-year, $33 million deal. Oh my God, why is this? Come on, why is this website? All right, here we go. Yeah, so he's a free agent next year. I think it's just going to depend on how well he does in that offense. So if he does well in the offense, they'll re-sign him. If they don't, then, they let him walk. That's it. Jack with a Tarek. You stream the games for those of us who no longer watch the games because rich people didn't get rich enough. Also get your receiving gloves nice and sticky or tight end 1. I stream every single primetime game, every Packers game, and every playoff game. I quite literally, I don't think, can stream any other games. Necro to Fire. I know it wasn't going to happen, but imagine the last trade news popped up and said Garrett to the Eagles. It'd be pure euphoria to see the reactions. Yeah, that was the rumor, right? That Howie, I think, offered 3 first-round picks to the Cleveland Browns for him, but yeah, they did not budge. Then they got to, they just traded a 3rd-round pick for Phillips. Amateur. Sam got spinal surgery and still wants to play. Yeah, Damian, the Chargers, they got Penning. They didn't really have to give up much for him. Again, I don't think he's going to do a whole lot for you. He hasn't done amazing things in New Orleans, but you need somebody with 2 of your major offensive linemen out. Doug with a fire. No, nobody wants to see a happy Pats fan. I grew up watching Vrabel play. I'm so stoked to see him back as a coach. Hope you're well, Tom. Oh, dude, he's been crushing it so far. The players seem to love him. The defense still is playing well, and the offense is playing very well. So gotta be happy about that. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they go and address offensive line again because Drake May is still getting hit a little bit too much. But America, they turned the Broncos trade for anyone. They did not. I had nothing that I saw. Not the one I saw. Yeah, I mean, they get it was a 6th rounder or something for Penning. So again, they're not doing super duper well right now, but it's fine. Cardinals sticking with Schefter. That makes sense. T. Couture, the Titans, the biggest losers. I mean, I did the 5 worst. They are statistically like the worst team in the league right now. So the good news is, and where you should have a little bit of optimism, is like Cam Ward seems to be pretty good. And the defense, like they can play. It's just that offense is atrocious. Like they need a ton of talent to be there. So they need to like start nailing their draft. Caleb with a fire. What's crazy, Thomas? The Cardinals beat the Cowboys. Brissett played well 2 weeks until Gannon thinks Murray is QB1. No, because a minute ago, the Arizona Cardinals are naming Jacoby Brissett as their starting QB. Whew. So, yeah, that's something. Hell yeah, is there? Congrats. Gotta vote. Gotta vote. So, yeah, Kyler Murray. Oof. I mean, I mentioned in the reaction yesterday, I can't imagine that it's going to go very well for Kyler because Brissett is just operating that offense better. He's been leading them to some pretty darn close matchups. Kyler Murray has not been playing that great, and you kind of know where his ceiling is, especially with this squad. So yeah, after a big win too against the Cowboys, it makes sense that they're going to be rocking with Jacoby. The problem is, and this has been the problem, is the Kyler Murray's contract is not fun because they gave him a ton of money. And it was $160 million in guarantees, too. So right now, let's see. So the good news, I guess, so the last of his guaranteed salary is next season. So right now his guarantee is 29.9. It's going to go up to 36.8 next year. So I don't think they're going to be able to move on from him because I don't think anyone's going to trade for him until the 2027 season. So it's going to be a problem. His cap number is 53 mil. It's 17% of their cap next year. So not ideal. The Cardinals are just not in a great situation. And I feel like you kind of knew that things were heading this way a little bit. But Michael Defy, I really wanted my Panthers to get a linebacker. So sick of watching Christian Roseboom attempt to play football. Slowest LB I've ever watched. Hopefully you go get one, in the draft. Cowboys tour, my football life still sucks. Hey, you got some players, though. Depressed tour, why the Ravens do nothing? We need OL and DL. Depends on who you're going to go get. That's it. And I don't know if there's going to be too many guys that they're going to be able to be willing to move for that capital. Jack and Fire, Cardinals are decent. The QB is locked in on football, not Call of Duty, and maybe see over the offensive line. Jacoby Brissett's also a veteran, man. And again, they also don't have James Conner at all. So, and the Ravens also, they did get a pass rusher, but yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. I think overall, though, like the Colts, they made the riskiest trade. 2 first-round picks is a lot, but that secondary is definitely going to be upgraded. They just got to hope that, Daniel Jones is their guy for this season because that's going to be their window for the next couple of years. And if Daniel Jones is that guy and they don't make the Super Bowl this year, I would imagine he's going to be re-signed to a longer contract. I don't know what this future is for Anthony Richardson, to be honest with you. I'm sure he's going to get traded and kind of get another opportunity somewhere. But yeah, the Colts seem like they are all in. And for the Cowboys, going to get Williams, I think that's a really big move. He's still a younger player at 27. And he's a really, really damn good player. And he's going to make that defensive line better. You get Overshown back and he's doing all right, then you're good. Yes, the trade deadline's done. We're 54 minutes past it. So completely and totally done. So, hey, Dylan, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tom looks frazzled. Oh, yeah, no, it's just been a crazy day. We had to throw out 2 reaction videos. Power rankings should be coming out the next couple hours. I just got to do an audio pickup for that. No script today just because all of this, I've been shooting videos all day, so I had to throw out the script that I had. So I'll write that tomorrow. So it'll be GPS predictions and scripted tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. Trades can be announced pretty late, though. No, it's done. The Trevor Penning one should be the last one because they got to get the paperwork in with the league. So unless something crazy has happened, yeah, I think that's going to be it. So Bills, I'm not surprised. I would have liked to see them get another wide receiver, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, he says Kyler Murray's still getting healthy, Gannon said, but I do like how we're operating as an offense. So, yeah. So it's going to be Jacoby Brissett versus Seattle. I think that should be pretty fun, too. So, yeah, literally 2 minutes before the deadline. Just got it in there for the Saints. But, it would be cool if you could stadium audio for your stream. Yeah, I just got to worry about copyright stuff, and I can't risk that, because can't risk no strikes. Jack and Fire, last one for your Milwaukee. Check out this new bar, Your Office. Great new dive downtown. Cheers. Oh, yeah, Jack. Appreciate that out of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Plaid, I mean, you do worry about it, but the Cardinals were in a situation where, like, Kyler Murray was your guy. Like, you knew he could play. They needed a quarterback, and it's like, all right, we got to give him a whole bunch of money. So, that's it. Liger with a tour says, my Jets have $94 million opening cap plus another $110 million for 27, and now they have draft capital. Again, they're setting themselves up nicely, but now they got to do the hard part, and they got to draft well. Nick would fire out breaking. The Titans have traded head coach Mike McCoy for their former OC Matt LaFleur. Sourced. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. But we'll see. I mean, it was a pretty crazy trade deadline day. The Jets offloading a whole bunch of talent. The Cowboys, I think, definitely got better. The Colts got better. The Jets get a whole lot of resources to help rebuild that team, which they need to do. They just need to draft well, and on top of that, they need to address a bunch of different positions. So we shall see. I do like Jacoby to Jacksonville. Yes, I like that a lot because they need a wide receiver that can constantly catch the ball right now, too. So be rocking and rolling. It's probably going to be Gunther, Steven, most likely. But folks, I appreciate the hell out of you. I'm going to go and finish up power rankings, so that should be done in a little bit. I will put that out later, probably within like the next couple hours. Trade deadline's already done, so it's done. It was done 57 minutes ago. Caleb would have fired. Just attempted to Sauce Gardner trade as the Colts on Madden. I did not come close to going through. K-Rock with a fiver. Our GM is not trade savvy, but I really want to address an off-ball linebacker, but oh well, go Bucks. Love you, Tom. Keep grinding. There's always the draft, my friend. There is always the draft. But I appreciate y'all. Yeah, crazy stuff. Scripted tomorrow. Power rankings tonight. GPS predictions as well tomorrow. But yeah, I appreciate the hell out of you folks. Thank you so much for watching. Happy trade deadline day. It's always crazy in the frickin' frackin' NFL. But we're on to week 10. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack, go. Appreciate y'all.